My name is Kristen Rain, and I'm the Outreach Manager for the Workforce Training Fund program at Commonwealth Corporation. Over the next few minutes, I'll share an overview of the Workforce Training Fund, including its background, eligibility requirements, and descriptions of the grants that are available. You may also visit our website at workforcetrainingfund.org. Since 1999, the Workforce Training Fund has provided businesses with the resources they need to invest in the Massachusetts workforce, improve employee skills, and maintain the economic strength and viability of the Commonwealth's businesses. The program awards grants to businesses for training in order to promote job growth, job retention, or increase wages, and to improve business productivity, competitiveness, and the ability to do business in Massachusetts. In fiscal year 2016, the WTFP awarded more than $20 million to over 500 businesses to train more than 16,000 workers. How is the Workforce Training Fund funded? The program is paid for by Massachusetts employers through a small surcharge on unemployment insurance, which equates to about $8.40 per employee per year. The money is put into a trust, which collects between $18 and $22 million annually and is used exclusively to train incumbent Massachusetts workers. WTFP is administered by Commonwealth Corporation, an agency of the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development. There are 3 types of grants available, and I'll cover each of these in greater detail in a few minutes. The first is called the Express Grant. The Express Grant is available to businesses with 100 or fewer Massachusetts employees. It offers a 50% reimbursement for off-the-shelf training. The Express Grant pays up to $3,000 per employee per course and up to $30,000 per company per year. The second grant is through the Direct Access program. Direct Access is available to businesses of any size, and it offers free training from a list of pre-approved courses with no grant application required. The third grant is called the General Grant. The General Grant is available to businesses of any size, and it awards up to $250,000 for 2-year customized training plans. A consortium is when multiple companies with similar training needs may form a consortium in order to apply collectively for a general grant. In order to be eligible for a grant, the business must contribute to the fund through Massachusetts unemployment insurance. All for-profit companies automatically pay into the UI fund and therefore are eligible to apply. Those nonprofits who make quarterly UI payments also pay into the fund and are eligible. Employers who are not eligible for the Workforce Training Fund include federal, state, and municipal government entities, and those nonprofits who make UI payments using the reimbursable method. This is also known as self-insured. An employer can train all their full-time and part-time Massachusetts W-2 employees using the fund. However, all out-of-state workers, temp workers, or contract workers are not eligible. The business applying for the grant must be compliant with all state agencies, including the Department of Unemployment Assistance, the Department of Industrial Accidents, the Office of the Attorney General, and finally, the business cannot be debarred from doing business with state or federal government for any reason. All applications must include a Certificate of Good Standing, or a COGS, from the Massachusetts Department of Revenue that verifies that all state taxes are paid up to date. Please note, the Certificate of Good Standing required is pictured here on the left from the Department of Revenue and is not the letter on the right from the Secretary of the Commonwealth. You may request a COGS by linking to the Department of Revenue website right from any of the Apply pages at workforcetrainingfund.org. Now I'll review each of the grants available. The first grant is the Express Grant. The Express Grant is available for companies with 100 or fewer Massachusetts employees. You can choose your training from a database of over 10,000 registered courses in our directory called Training Pro. You can search by training topic, training provider, keyword, geography, etc. If there is a specific trainer or course you would like to take, that trainer can easily apply to register their course with our directory. The Express Grant pays 50% of the total cost of training, up to $3,000 per person per course, and up to $30,000 per company per year. Here are the steps to take. First, you apply and choose the specific training you would like for your employees to enroll in. Once you get approval from WTFP, you enroll those employees into the course. They complete the training, and you pay the training provider the full invoiced amount. Then you submit to us the invoice and proof of payment, and the Workforce Training Fund will reimburse you 50% of the cost of training, up to $3,000 per employee per course. And you can apply for different trainings throughout the year, not to exceed $30,000 reimbursement for the company in any given year. Other conditions are that the training must be work-related, and the course must be completed within 2 years. Any mandated training such as OSHA would not be covered. And for planning purposes, you should plan to submit your application at least 6 weeks prior to the start of the course to allow enough time for approval. It's also important to note that no training can take place before the application is approved, or it will not be reimbursed. This is a screenshot of what the Express Grant application looks like. First, it'll ask a series of yes or no questions to determine eligibility, after which you navigate to the Training Pro directory, where you can select courses from that directory and indicate which employees will attend. Some of the most common training topics in the Express program include process improvement and lean manufacturing, sales training, customer service training, leadership and management training, project management, quality assurance training such as ISO requirements, software training, and your company can use the Express Grant for training that leads to a professional certification, for example, in Project Management Professional or PMP certification, Human Resources Management, or IPC certification, for example, in circuit boards, electronics, and wiring. The second grant is through the Direct Access program, which offers free access to several in-demand training topics. Direct Access is unique in that the training providers themselves have been awarded a grant to offer a number of seats to trainees free of charge. There is no grant application required. However, you must meet the eligibility requirements outlined earlier, and like all Workforce Training Fund programs, employees must be paid regular wages as they go through training. Direct Access currently offers training in 96 courses from 18 pre-approved training providers. With this grant, you contact the training provider directly for availability and enrollment deadlines. You'll find the complete list of courses and training provider contact information on our website at workforcetrainingfund.org. Direct Access training topics include courses in process improvement, for example, lean training, management and supervisory skills training, computer software training, including Microsoft Office and Adobe products, interpersonal and soft skills training, for example, time management and team building, and other professional skills, including machining, blueprint reading, early childhood education, and digital marketing. You can also use Direct Access for Workplace ESOL or English for speakers of other languages. The Direct Access program includes a mix of public and private training vendors, including community colleges, industry associations, and private trainers. Again, for the full list of courses and contact information, go to workforcetrainingfund.org, Programs, Direct Access. The third grant available is called the General Grant. The General Grant is the largest in terms of total funds awarded each year. Businesses of any size can apply for a General Grant of up to $250,000 to deliver custom training plans to their incumbent employees. The applicant should identify a specific business need, a challenge, or an opportunity, and work with external training providers to design training that will meet that challenge. The General Grant requires that employers match grant funds dollar for dollar with training-related expenses. This is not an out-of-pocket cost per se, because the wages and fringe benefits paid to employees as they go through training count towards the employer's one-to-one match, and it's usually enough to meet that match requirement. Employers can also include other expenses towards the match, including course materials, room or equipment rentals, meals during training, and travel expenses. General grant training can last up to 2 years, and at the end of the grant, after it's officially closed out, there's a 1-year waiting period before the business can apply for another general grant. The general grant has a rolling application process, so there's no deadline to submit your application. You may apply at any time. New general grants are awarded each month, and you can expect to hear back within 60 days on whether or not your grant application has been approved. Between 80 and 90% of grant applications are awarded on their initial submission, and if your grant is not awarded the first time, reviewers will provide detailed feedback and you may resubmit as soon as you like. General Program Grant Requirements. The proposed training should align with program guidelines. You can access a complete list of guidelines by going to workforcetrainingfund.org, select Programs, select General Program, and on the navigation bar to the left, select Guidelines. General grants should supplement but not replace private investments in training. Mandated training, for example, OSHA training, would not be covered by the grant. And training that would take place as a normal course of doing business would also not be covered. So, for example, any regular onboarding that your company does or any existing training that is offered is not eligible to be paid for with grant funds. The purpose of the Workforce Training Fund is to supplement those private investments by providing additional resources to help you further build capacity, further improve the skills of your workforce, and make your business more productive. Like all the programs, employees must be paid as they go through training. Your training plan, including course descriptions, should be submitted along with your general grant application. And finally, the company must be financially viable and be able to provide 2 years of financial statements if requested. WTFP legislation includes a list of selection criteria and key priorities. You do not have to meet all these criteria, but a competitive application should at least address a couple. The reviewers are looking to see whether a grant will increase the skills of low-wage or low-skilled workers, create or preserve jobs, provide a positive economic impact on a region with high levels of unemployment, whether the grant will include a significant private investment in training, whether it will supplement rather than replace private investments in training, whether the grant will provide training for jobs that are in danger of being offshored. Other criteria include whether the employer is a small business or has recently located to Massachusetts. Additional priorities include adult basic education, English for speakers of other languages or ESOL, minority or women-owned enterprises, and consortium applications. A competitive general grant application should address 3 key items. The first is the need for training or the business objective. What are the specific business goals or problems to be addressed? Please be specific using data if possible. Second, how will the training you are proposing meet that business need? The application should include a set of logically related courses that relate to that business objective. And third, success metrics. What are the quantifiable key performance indicators, or KPIs, that you will use to measure whether the training has achieved its goals? Please be specific and include both a baseline and a goal for these measures. So, for example, the need for training. We are a local bank, and changes in technology have reduced face-to-face customer interactions by 50%, which means we have fewer opportunities to cross-sell products and services which are critical for asset growth and customer retention. Training plan. We want to offer customer service training, including problem-solving and presentation skills, for 50 employees to help us better distinguish our products and services. Success metrics. Our goal is to increase our customer satisfaction score from 85 points to 90 points, increase assets by 10% from 100 million to 110 million, and increase teller productivity from serving 15 to 16 customers per hour. Once your grant is awarded, you'll be connected with a program manager at Commonwealth Corporation who will walk you through the next steps. Your business will execute a 2-year contract with Commonwealth Corporation. Once the contract is signed and returned to us, you'll receive the first 25% of grant funds, and you can begin training. Your program manager will provide you with templates to track your training activity, which you'll submit quarterly. These are called quarterly activity reports. You will also document any training-related expenses, and submit these as fiscal status reports. The grant funds are distributed as training is completed, and once we receive a final outcomes or closeout report, you'll receive the final 25% payment as reimbursement. There are several case studies on our website for your review. This example is BionX Medical Technologies, originally founded as iWalk and located in Bedford, Massachusetts. BionX is a leader in the field of prosthetic devices and is the creator of the Biome ankle, which is the first lower limb prosthetic with powered propulsion for enhanced mobility. When the Biome ankle hit the market, BionX knew they were going to grow rapidly. They wanted to bring lean manufacturing to their production floor in order to eliminate waste and create efficiencies that would allow them to scale up efficiently. The company needed to be able to react quickly to changes in the market and maximize their current resources. Their training plan included lean manufacturing, mechanical, electrical, and software engineering skills, and medical device regulatory and quality assurance training for 36 of their employees. The training was designed to help staff balance last-minute design projects, reduce delays, and expand their capabilities. Their success metrics included increased efficiencies in production, reduced travel distance on the manufacturing floor by 50%. They saw a 30% revenue increase. They created 4 new full-time jobs as a result of the training, going from 48 full-time employees to 52, and 3 employees received promotions. Consortium applications. Consortiums are a suitable option when several businesses have similar training needs and they apply collectively for a general grant as a consortium. Consortiums may be led by an individual company, a labor organization, a workforce development board, a WDB or a WIB, community college, chamber of commerce, a business association, or any other convening body that acts as the lead applicant for the consortium. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for spending the time to learn more about the Workforce Training Fund. If you would like to attend an upcoming info session, please enroll at workforcetrainingfund.org/events. On our website, you will also find links to each program, applications, guidelines, instructions on how to apply for a Certificate of Good Standing, and under Resources, you can also see a list of recent general grants that have been awarded. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you might have. My name is Kristen Rain. I can be reached at 617-717-6915, or you can email krayne@comcorp.org, and please follow us on Twitter @MassWTFP. Thank you.